Welcome to the Edgewater Healthcare Podcast. Our goal is to inform you about the international nurse recruiting industry via candidate interviews and bite-sized episodes. Let's get started. All right, so welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning into the Edgewater Healthcare Podcast. Today, we are thrilled to introduce 4 nurses from the Philippines. Their names are Lester, Lawrence, Joyce, and Adeline. All right, so the next set of questions are the post-US deployment questions. So the first one, let's just get right into it. You know, many nurses are recruited to the US. Their experiences vary and are different, and some are happy with their placement while some have, many disappointments. So tell us about how your experience was like. For instance, was information accurately represented to you by the agency? And, how credible and respectable is Edgewater as a company? Joyce.
Oh, well, in my case, I'm very much contented in how they handled my application. For example, I applied to Edgewater in Navicent around March 2019. When they first filed my case, it was denied because RFEs are very rampant that time. So I have 3 RFEs, and then it was denied, and then they refiled it immediately with is it like premium process. So after they filed my second application, it was approved, and from there on the process is sailing smoothly. So I can say from all those process until getting in here, which is very much we actually receive a warm welcome from both the agency, from Edgewater, and the hospital itself. And they are very much transparent on our living situations when we arrive here, on what should we do, or they given us like a checklist on what we should do before going here to Georgia. And in the license endorsement, they're very much helpful because they told us, or they guide us on what to expect or what to process in those license endorsements for it to be for the license to be so that we can get our license ready. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're now in the state of Georgia, at one of the top hospitals. So what is it like to be in one of the largest teaching hospitals in the state? Like, how well were you welcomed and received? Did you receive the support and assistance you expected or needed? And, was onboarding and training easy? Adeline?
For that, when we are here, we didn't see any problem as we go along, and when right now we are like finishing our orientation. So far, we are confident and we are competent as well, because we are really accepted in the hospital as really like their team already, and we have been starting and our care learnings. It was a smooth process, although now is the module type. It's not really a classroom-based orientation anymore. Most of the learnings are online, but we were able to get it through with the supervision of our preceptors, and also our managers are really very accommodating, and they won't stop us really from learning again, and they are really very open if you would go for further studies and education, and they won't stop us from just being a nurse here. So I think everything is well explained from start, and we're just happy what will happen for us in the next 5 or 10 years.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So the next question is, were your initial accommodations suitable? Were you able to enter the U.S. and obtain all your documents with relative ease? Things like your social security number and nurse endorsement to the state of Georgia. Lawrence?
Yeah, me too. I stayed in Texas for about 2 months. So I really enjoyed my stay there, since I was able to spend quality time with my family. And also with regards to the SSN, since with different states, there are different rules with regards to going to federal offices. So I waited for about 2 weeks to get my SSN number. And from then on, I was able to secure my driver's license, my bank account, and as well as my endorsement to Georgia. So it went very smoothly until the right time to go there.
So this brings us to our last question. What would you say to nurses in the Philippines about Edgewater and its commitment to the nurses they recruit? So let's start with Lester.
All I can say for the future Filipino nursing coming here in the US is that they must be more positive in every process going here. Because we all know that Edgewater is doing their job, the paperwork and all that stuff, but most of the Filipino nurses must also work hard on their side of the story because they cannot really depend everything on the agency. They must learn the place, they must learn how to obtain a driver's license here, they must learn how to get a bank account because Edgewater is always there to help them with the process and placement here in the US. But the other part of the story is that the nurses should study the area and everything that they need to do before coming here. Because to be honest, we have a smooth sailing process going here or transition here in the US and in Georgia. But the future nurses must always put in their mind that starting here it's not easy because you need to build up everything from scratch. So all I can say to the future Filipino nurses is that they must be strong, patient enough, and smart in every decision that they make. Because coming here in the US is not meaning that when we step here, we're already rich. We need to start our life here as a new person and a new career.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like and follow us on your favorite podcast platform. And feel free to contact us at 888-375-9749. Until next time, and remember, we work for you.